Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for this week's weekly safety recap. Before we get started, make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find additional videos of this nature, along with toolbox safety topic videos and leadership training videos. Now, as you can see, I'm still in the process of putting together a studio to make a higher quality video. In the interim, I'm still a work in process, so the lighting might be a little harsh and the audio a little less pleasant than normal. However, like I've said before, I feel it important to get this information out on a weekly basis. So here I am to do that. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the weekly safety recap. First, I'd like to thank those who welcomed me onto their job sites this past week. For the most part, everything looked good. There were a few items of note, and I will discuss them later on in this recap. But first, I'd like to talk about the success curve. Now, it's been said that change is the only constant in the universe. Rosabeth Kanter said, "Those who master change persist and persevere." Now, the following is excerpted from an article written by Sáez. Every time you're learning something new, developing a new habit, or running a big project, there are always moments in which thoughts invade your mind. It looks like you're not moving forward. You don't feel comfortable, and your goal seems too far away. If we could describe people's emotional state during the realization of a project, it would be through a graphic with the form of a smile or a U. At the beginning and at the end, the emotion tends to be very positive. At the beginning, you are optimistic and have hope. You have decided to start something new that you believe will be very interesting and successful. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it, right? And when you are approaching the end, you come to be full of confidence since the goal is very close. According to Rosabeth Kanter, professor at Harvard Business School, in the middle, everything looks like a failure. So it's given the name Kanter's Law. Everyone feels motivated by the beginning, and obviously, we love happy endings. But it's in the middle where the hard work happens. In the middle, we all have doubts. This feeling is principally produced because important changes are not developed the way we would like it to, linear and smooth. The changes that remain usually involve 2 steps forward and 1 step back. In addition, it's easy to feel that when we are in the middle, we are very far away from the expectations we had made. Unexpected events take place as well as deviations. What had been estimated in regards to the needs of resources appear not to be enough. It is then when despondency appears. Now, this is why it's fully important to understand that failure is a necessary part of change, because there will be periods of confusion in which temptation to abandon will be great. In companies, in any teamwork, and individually, it's very important to feed and promote a growth mindset that would help us consider failure as a natural part of the process. Nowadays, for many companies, what's important is still the outcome. However, it's more important to be optimistically predisposed to failure and focus on learning. Mastery of any matter will not come overnight, and with that clear, there are more chances of success. you facing a new challenge and cannot manage to control it? Not trying anymore can be considered a failure. But if you resist the feeling of failure and despondency and make the necessary adjustments to avoid the obstacles that may appear, probably you will reach the end. Above all, remember the reason that motivated you to start this change. Now, on with the recap. Falls remain the number one cause of death and injury in the construction industry. Fall protection in construction is required when an employee is exposed to a fall of greater than 6 feet. Employees are to be trained in fall protection. The major areas of fall protection are fall hazard recognition, types of fall protection, and the proper use of fall protection. Employees are to be protected from falls when working at heights of greater than 6 feet using a guardrail system, a safety net system, or personal fall arrest systems. Let us ensure our team members are trained in and know how to properly use fall protection systems. Next, let's talk about PPE. Personal protective equipment is the very first and the very last line of defense against personal injury. We first engineer or administratively remove any hazards from the work site, and then look to use PPE to protect from the hazards that cannot be removed administratively or engineered out of the equation. Now, the minimum required PPE is hard hat, safety glasses, high-vis vest or clothing, work pants, work boots, shirt with a minimum 4-inch sleeve, and gloves. Now, employees are required to have these items on the job site and be wearing them prior to the commencement of work. Finally, let's talk about respiratory protection. Respiratory protection is to be stored in a safe and sanitary condition when not in use. Respirators should be stored in a dust, contaminant-free container that protects it from distortion to crushing or environmental influences. Please continue to do the good work of training and educating our team members in hazard recognition and mitigation. And remember, a safe, well-trained team is an effective and productive team. Okay, guys, that's it for this week's safety recap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will find additional videos of this nature, along with toolbox safety topic videos and leadership training videos. And until we see each other again, take care of yourself because you're number one. Look out for your co-workers and help ensure their safety. Have a grateful day, and remember, I will see you in the field.